at the minute watching me, but that's all good. Okay, so I just thought I'd quickly jump on just to let you know that we have, we're prepared pretty much for our next Speakers Corner event in December. We are using it also for like an end of year, Christmas get together as well. So, bring a picnic if you want. Wear, I don't know, Christmassy earrings. If you don't wear earrings, wear Christmas. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But, we're wanting to, or the idea is to have, like a bit of a Christmas spirit type, end of year gig happening. We are actually going to be in a different location this time to the last Speakers Corner event for a few reasons. And this one has, better accessibility, thank goodness. But if you've got dogs, you're more than welcome to bring them along. There's actually a dog park right next door to where we're going to be located. Now, if you are interested in attending one of our Speakers Corner events, and especially the upcoming one in Melbourne, email us at womensactiongroup@mail.com. Okay, I'll put the link in the description below. Now, if the weather is unfavourable and, we need to make that decision a few days closer, obviously, to the event, we will email you plan B, okay? So the reason why we are, doing it by email only, we're not publicly advertising our Speakers Corner events yet, although that is obviously going to be our, eventually we will be advertising them publicly. The reason why we're not is because we've got hardly any of us. We don't have anyone to, hello darling, yes, I know, sweetie. We don't have anyone to be wardens, I think. I'm probably getting that name wrong, I'm so sorry, but we're trying to build up more of a support base, I guess you could say, just so that we've got it ticking over nicely, as the months go by, obviously. Now, we're going to be having a break in January because we bloody deserve it. And, usually January is a shockingly hot month. And it's a holiday season here anyway in Australia. So we will be resuming Speakers Corner events in February next year, 2023. Now, Kelly J. Keane has announced that she will be doing her Aussie or her Down Under tour, Aussie and New Zealand, in March. I don't know how firm that is, but yeah, so when Kelly J. Keane is here in Victoria, or rather in Melbourne, to do her Standing for Women event. I'm so sorry, my cat's hungry. What's the time? Oh, he's an hour early. Anyway, while Kelly J. Keane is here, Women's Action Group won't hold a Speakers Corner event so that she can actually, she's coming all the way over here from the motherland, no, from England. So she's coming all the way over here. So, for her to have her own Speakers Corner event, we think is fantastic, and we absolutely support her all the way. So, but then obviously we'll resume in April, etc., etc., etc. Now, if anyone is interested in volunteering your time, resources, if you have any, I guess, if we need them, we would be so grateful. Let me know. Attention your email to me, and it's at the same email address, womensactiongroup@mail.com. Oh, the other thing too is that we do a vetting process for everyone. We just don't read an email and go, oh, they sound wonderful, we're going to put them on our email list. That would defeat the purpose, wouldn't it, of keeping our events, on the down low. So just so you know that that there is a vetting process. Oh, that's the other thing too. We also hope in time that we will not just do Melbourne Speakers Corner events, but regional as well. We have discussed that. But that, that will come further down the road, I guess. The other thing I wanted to also discuss is that it's been a very conscious decision to have my face as running these Speakers Corner events, okay? what I'm about to say will probably upset some people, but yeah, whatever. And the reason for that is in this country, obviously I'm not Indigenous, I'm not Aboriginal, obviously most people know that about me, I am Māori. So, we're hoping also to, attract all women, from everywhere, but in particular, women that are, Aboriginal women, migrant women. I'm a migrant woman in this country. And it's not just that I am the token brown face either. There's a lot of that going on for a lot of things, for a lot of things, political parties especially. I've actually, I haven't just been flown in to assume this position, or sorry, not a position, but, to do this work. I've been at this, I'm one of the co-founders of Women's Action Group, so I've been doing this work for quite some time. So it's not like I'm just filling a diversity card, which I can't stand that. But anyway. And, when for Indigenous and migrant women, and I'm not saying all of them, I'm being very, very, I'm generalizing here. I'm not saying you personally, me. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in general, and we were thinking about, well, I was thinking about this, sorry, for International Women's Day, I think it was either last year or the year before, the woman that attended was saying that there was actually a group of, I think it was, Aboriginal women who ended up leaving, the International Women's Day March because they said, well, there's, no one here, there's nothing representing us at all, And frankly, that's typically the case anyway, in these movements. It's like in New Zealand, and just as an example, there were Māori women that absolutely were part of the suffragette movement, but they were made to forego wearing moko, like as in what Di and Rexandy have got, on their chin, which is our cultural, that's part of our culture. And so they did. They did that because white women didn't want them to display any part of their culture, And again, those times are very different, and very different to today. So it's a bit like how men will never understand what this world is like for women. They have no idea. And, they don't have to, I guess. I mean, it's helpful if they do. But, same with, white woman and, I hate saying white woman, but you know what I mean. So Anglo woman, I guess you could say, and Indigenous woman or Aboriginal woman, and even in New Zealand, it's the same thing. We see, movements or groups of white women, and you think, oh yeah, okay, well, no place for me here, and that's why you typically don't see a lot of faces that look like this, or Dilandis or Rexandis, and even this movement. I mean, there's a few, but we're not at all the majority, and that's cool, that's fine. But anyway, so just thought I'd, put that out there too. The other thing that we don't, yes, darling, hang on, honey, sorry. The other thing that we will never ever do in Women's Action Group, much like, or exactly like Marawahine Kōrero, we don't use pronouns. We will never call a man a woman. Never call a woman a man, and we don't court AGP men as part of our activism, okay? So, and we do that for a reason. Lots of women in this movement have, been through sexual assault, childhood sexual abuse, all that type of stuff. So, having narcissistic men around or involved in this activism, it can be quite triggering. They don't even have to be AGPs, just abusive men, or predatory men, and it's, the way that I see it at least is that, if you're rocking up to a protest against predatory men in women's jails, yet you're courting predatory men in your groups that you run or that you're part of or whatever, how is that helpful? And whenever I've seen instances where women on our side will demand other women use pronouns or, stop being transphobic or, stuff like that, it is always the women that come off second best. Always. And to me, that's pretty whack in a women's movement or a movement for women's rights and for women's safety. I think that's pretty friggin' whack, And so we would not do that in Women's Action Group. We don't kick people out of Women's Action Group if they don't use pronouns. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's about it. Again, if you want to come along, if you want to be part of the, of the email group, by all means, drop us a line. We will vet you. And I better go and feed my cat. All right. Okay. Hope to see you at one of our Speakers Corner events. And take care.